Hello everyone, in today's video we're going to see how we can draw and render a rectangular and a triangular prism. So to do this, now we need to draw a rectangle. For first we have to start with a rectangular prism. So rectangular prism you need to draw in some axis. Select the plane and create a rectangle. You can create a rectangle by selecting in this menu, or you can directly press R on the keyboard. You can come to know, you can get the option to draw a rectangle. So give this some dimension, press tab to switch between dimensions, press enter to create the sketch. So finish the sketch, come out of the plane. Now to extrude this, you can directly press E on the keyboard. So Fusion 360 is a user-friendly software and has a lot of shortcuts. So you can use these shortcuts to quickly make your designs and save a lot of time. So press E on the keyboard and you can see the profile is already selected, so you just need to drag it outside. So give it some distance, some depth, say 70, and press enter. Now your prism is almost ready, but now it is not looking anything like a prism. It looks more like a block of wood or block of concrete or a brick. So to make changes and add material to this, press A on the keyboard. You will get appearances box like this. So you can closely see there are a lot of materials in Fusion 360 library. So you go to any of this material and add. So now this is a prism, so it will be glass. So you can see glass in this library. Select that. It might take some time to get the drop down, and you can see color density, smooth and textured. I'm going to go for smooth, so I'll use something like clear glass. I'm okay with the clear glass because prisms are clear mostly. So you can see the material has been applied to our design. You can see the block has now look something like a prism. So to render this object, so you now need to go to the rendering workspace. You can see the prism here. So you go to scene setup, select environment library, and you can change the background of the library, background of the environment. So you can see by changing the environment, the shade, the shadow, the lighting effect is also getting changed. Now select anything you would want and add it to the scene as an environment by just dragging and dropping it. So you go to the settings. In the scene settings, you can see the background color. You can change this into anything. You can select environment plane, so you can see the background like this, so as if you are in a studio room or something like that. So you can try with all of these actions, all of these points, and what works best for you. You can change the camera setting, camera perspective. So I'm gonna leave it as perspective. You can change the focal length. See, the changing of the focal length is changing the depth of the image and how we view it. Exposure, you can edit this as well. Aspect ratio, depth of field, untick this if you don't know anything, and just go to in canvas render. It will take some time depending upon the speed of your internet, as Fusion is a cloud-based software. So you can set the quality of the render here from anywhere between excellent, final, and infinite. So it will take a lot of time if you put this into a final render or an infinite render. So excellent would be fine. So just you can see how this looks inside the software, and if this as a real world object.
A few moments later.
Important point to note while using the rendering workspace is, if you change the view of the object, the rendering time gets reset and starts from zero. So this is very important. Before you start your rendering, you have to set the perfect scene, the perfect angle at which you want your rendering to occur. So if not, it will restart from zero and it will consume a lot of time. So now if you don't want to wait like this, or if you want your render to be in image size, image format, you can do this. You can go click on this icon. For this you need to save it. So save your design, and then you can render it as an image so that you can download it. So it might take a bit of time to upload it to the cloud, as Fusion is a cloud-based software. Once it gets uploaded, you will get a window like this. So now here you can choose whatever format that you would need for you. So I would need a print format for 2.2 megapixel is fine for me. Render it on cloud, never render it on locally, because it will consume your RAM and efficiency and that stuff. So you can use the final quality and just click render. Once it gets submitted, it will render online in the cloud.
A few moments later.
And once it gets submitted, you will see this to occur here. So I'm not sure if it got submitted or not. Let me try some different thing too. I'll render it and leave it like this. Let's see what happens. So after all the struggle, we can here see the rendered image. So in this window, click on this, you'll get the image. You get the rendered image so that you can download to your computer. So as this now currently is being under rendering, so estimated time, see, you can see 10 minutes. So leave it like this, and now we move on to the next prism we are going to do today, triangular prism, the most commonly used prism. Now for this we just need to draw a triangle. So you can, if you have any specific triangles in your idea, you can use them, or you can just draw half the triangle, make this line as construction line, give this an angle of 60, this an angle of 30. So you can see if you're giving over constraint, so that means you are giving too many constraints to already existing dimensions. So cancel this, so you can see this to be perfectly all right. So now give this a length, so zoom in, and that's probably it, because if you are given the angle and the endpoint, you can't you can't again give length in a triangle. So I get to know learn this now only. So you can mirror these two lines over this as a mirror line by going to the mirror option. You can see it here. Select these two lines first, and you need to swap for the mirror line. Select this as mirror line, so you can see perfectly coming. So this will be 60 60, and this 30 30, it will be 60. So it's an equatorial prism, if I'm not wrong. So equilateral prism. So now you have finished your sketch, and your sketch is a profile now. So finish it, come out of the workspace and extrude. Maybe give it as 40. Click OK. Now the same way you have added a material to this. You can add material to the triangle prism by pressing A on the keyboard. You can see this. Now if you're too bored about this, you can change the color as well by adding something else. But I wish to stay with glass, clear or window glass. Clear would be fine, because these prisms are generally used for optical measurements and in that stuff. So close this. Now this is almost done, but if you need to render it, you need to first save it. Save it with any name you'd want. It will get uploaded to the cloud. If it is tick, you got a tick here, it's uploaded. So you can go to the render workspace. So the background now here, I feel this background is too dull. So I go to scene setup, environment library, and now what I will do is change the background by adding some custom backgrounds here. So you can download these predetermined backgrounds from the Fusion library and just drop them here. Just see how they look like. See, you can see, I think I've dropped it inside. So your background is set to solid color, so you can change this to environment. So now you will see the prism is on the road. So go to environment library. So whatever you select here becomes the background of this render. So if it is photo booth, it's all black, you can't see it. But if you want to see it, physically feel it, you can add something else, something like this skylight. You can't even see anything here. So I'm gonna download these, all of them. Crossroads looks fine for me, so I'll just render this. I think you can also adjust the sunlight. the position of your object with respect to the sun or lighting effect, whatever you call it. You can rotate it like this. This would be fine for me. Reflections, you can see a little change here, but it won't be too much because it's all glass. If you're using a, a thick object or a non-reflective object, an opaque object, you will see these reflections to be more dominant in the scene. You can see, if it doesn't matter how much you increase the roughness, you can't see a significant difference here. Again, you can adjust the focal length if you want. This kinda looks scary and good for me. The huge prism in the road, so I'm okay with this. I'll close and I'll directly render it online. See, as you can see, I want it to be too good to be true, so I'm going for 9 megapixel. It will take around 20 minutes, so I have to wait that much. Final quality, it is still 20, so it depends upon the credits you have. So if you're using a education license, you have unlimited credit, so that's not a big deal for you. So if you want a video, you can do that as well, but I don't recommend a video for something like this because it doesn't move. You can go do this as well for mobile. Let's try this one for this time. Cloud render final. Yeah, please wait. Okay, so as this happens on cloud, you can see it here in job status, I guess. No, you can't see renders on job status. That's okay. Now we go back to this thing. No, yeah, it got rendered. So you can see this here. You can download it as PNG, JPG, whatever you want. It will ask you to where to save the file. You can just go anywhere else. I'm going to create a new folder for renders. There you go, you have your render. So this is not really great render because of the background. We can't differentiate it much as this is completely transparent thing. So we will wait for the triangular prism to get rendered. Now finally this got rendered and this looks really good. Download as PNG. This is really good. This looks fine for me. And the difference, the reason why these two are looking different is because of the background. See, we almost rendered both of these at the same settings, but the only difference is the background. So in your renders, the background and the lighting plays a crucial role. So here you can see what you call this. I think this is TIR, total internal reflection, or something like that happening. So this is very clear and evident because of the surroundings, because of the backgrounds. You can see the different shades here too. So that's it for today's video. I hope you like this one and subscribe for more such interesting and fun activities on Fusion 360. Thank you.